Hey everybody, happy Wednesday, happy NVDA earnings day. Let's jump into it. So NVIDIA down a couple percentage points after hours. This is like 2% down or so. Geez, this was pretty big. Like 5% or something. Basically, the outlook given wasn't as good as Wall Street had wanted. But I mean, shoot, their numbers were fantastic. Sales growth is insane. Revenue beat. Great earnings. Wall Street doesn't quite like or traders don't quite like the outlook that was given. It's whatever. It is no big deal. 142, ish after hours. 143, whatever. It's neither here nor there. I would hold this stock down 2%, down 5%, so down 10%. Okay, so that was that. Whatever, NVIDIA. Let's go over the positions. Let's go over the positions here. So we'll start. Let's just start with everything that I did today. We'll do that. So CCJ, I got out of this morning. Nice, very strong opening and got sold. So markets were also selling off and breaks out to all-time high and immediately gives it up. So I got out. Those were the January 17 $50 strike price. 645 was the average cost. I sold those for 955, which is a 48% gain. Oil. It's finally time for a short. And oil, the risk to reward, I thought was good. I shorted it right here, right in the 70 range level. But I didn't use futures for this. I used this. So basically, first thing this morning, I shorted oil. January 17 is the expiration, $74 strike price. 430. Those are currently 442. The risk to reward here is nice. Basically, if this goes up for a day or so, I would get out. You have this gap that was filled. My opinion on shorting oil remains the same. Now, I don't like this continued escalation in Ukraine. But this is a good risk to reward. My thesis as to why I believe oil will go down still remains the same. I could be wrong here in the interim, but my reasoning behind it is the same. So okay, and then Dow. Remember I said yesterday on the video, if we get a pullback in Dow, and as long as it's nothing out of the ordinary, I will go long. So that is what I did. I went long here in the morning, like right here. December 27th is the expiration. 433 on the, oh, here, we'll go to, this is a debit spread. Did a debit spread here. Again, nothing too, aggressive, right? I'm still waiting for the market to prove itself. It's still a little whatever, but this is something, is set up, for me, my style, I have to take. So, yeah, this morning, like right here on this selling, basically right at the open, this started going down. So I placed the order. It didn't get filled until around here. So December 27th, 433 on the long call, 443 on the short call, 478 is the average cost. And I really had to do some shopping around for these. The amount paid was, the amount that these debit spreads were costing was, not good for me. So anyways, this one is 478. Anything over 5 with a $10 spread does not meet my criteria, because my maximum return would be less than 100%. And for a debit spread, I'm going for, at least 100% maximum return, without some, that still makes sense, right? I still want some sort of a conservative debit spread. I'm not going to place, like some ridiculous number, like a 450 or whatever, because you can certainly get more than 100% maximum return for something like that, but that's not how I trade. That's not my style. I don't view this as like a lottery or, so, anyways, 478, those are currently 512. Dow had a very strong day, very, very strong day. It's selling off after hours just because NVDA. Very strong day. This looks still fine. Clearly there's supporting action in here. Things are starting to get support, and we'll see if it holds. Whether it does, I have no clue. We have yet to find out. Okay. Also, United Health, the largest holding in Dow, looks good. Very strong today. Okay. Russell 2000, IWM, debit spreads, December 20th is the expiration, 229 on the long call, 239 on the short call. Those are $4.12. Those are currently $4.46. Russell 2000 looks good. It's acting as I was expecting or anticipating. Whether this holds and continues to go up is yet to be seen, obviously. But, gap was filled for the most part. Moving averages are moving up. You had a breakout from Trump trade, Trump election, and a pullback to where it broke out. So that is something that my strategy calls to go after. All right. NVIDIA, let's do Qs real quick. Get this out of the way here. These are debit spreads. December 20th is the expiration, 515 on the long call, 525 on the short call, 364 is what I paid. Those are currently 318. Also have the leveraged fund. Those are debit spreads. They're the exact same as it was yesterday for the price, but $80 on the long call, $90 on the short call, 440. Those are currently 245. NVDA, let's go to NVDA. We already kind of touched on this. Now average cost basis 126.97. I don't know what else to say about this. It's still fine. It's acting fine. It's looking fine. The story's the same. I was surprised in a good way at a couple things that was said on the call. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. Down a couple percentage points. After hours, I wish I had more of an opinion on this, especially after earnings, but I don't. It was fantastic. The reaction's a little bit negative. Whatever. All right. Now let's go over. Well, let's just finish up this. Biotech's kind of bouncing here. Decent volume coming back up. Around the 95 range, I'll get out. I'll take this one for a loss, but December 20, this is the smallest position. December 20th is the expiration, 95 on the long call, 105, short call, 464. Those are currently 250. A move like this is a complete anomaly, like I've keep talking about. This is such a low probability of this happening, of a move like this happening, to where, caught on the wrong side of it, whatever. The probability of this is extremely low, and sometimes those things were going to happen, but again, it's very low probability, so whatever. Goldman Sachs. I've been in this for a long time, 459 and some change, and it's up here. It's acting beautifully. My reasoning for being in this is the exact same as it was back here, and this will be a fantastic trade coming into 2025. Bitcoin continues to inch its way up. It's uptrending. Again, exact same thing. This is not a place where I would add, and it's not a place where I would sell. So we're still in it. BITX is the vehicle I use on my brokerage account. Now that there is options on ETFs, I will be using those. But that just opened yesterday, and it's not a buy or a sell signal for me, so that's why I haven't traded any of those yet. I know a lot of people did just because it was the first day where you could do it, and whether it's the first day or the 10th or the millionth, it makes no difference to me if I don't have a buy signal or some sort of signal. Anyway, so the average cost of these of this that I'm in, $33.07, currently, $58, $59. This and NVDA are the largest positions, followed by CCJ, which I sold for that 48% gain. And then my position sizing video, we talked about, what was it, a 5% position if you sold 50% for a 50% gain. Is kind of the goal, per week. 10% position sold for a 50% gain is good. That's in line with the goals. So let's go over to tech stocks. I don't really know how a lot of them looked Man, this is holding on, but again, this does not meet my criteria. This is below all the moving averages, starting to roll over. Of course, this can still work, but a less probability of working. Google. This is more of my style. The moving averages are moving up. This looks fine to me. Meta, again, it's still below all these moving averages. It's good that it's found support here at 550. It's still fine, but there's better setups. Okay, NVDA, we discussed. Let's look at Amazon, how Amazon did today. Yeah, Amazon looks good. Looks fine. It's all in this 200 range. Yeah, this might be worth going after, actually. I just have enough exposure to the Qs where, in NVIDIA, so between NVIDIA being my second largest position and then those debit spreads in the Qs as well as the TQQQ, it's, this meets my criteria, but nothing is guaranteed, right? So I can certainly add exposure, but I just need to do it, in a smart fashion. I just don't do some sort of shotgun approach. That's just not how I personally trade. I'm a little bit more conservative than most people. Always sitting on a lot of cash for the most part. I'm fairly conservative in how I position a portfolio. Yeah. But this would be the one, if I was going after a single stock other than NVIDIA, this would be the one in terms of for NASDAQ tech stocks. Let's see how Apple's looking today. Good. I'm glad it's holding above here. Below the 50-day moving average was bought. That's good to see. A little bit funky here, though, This doesn't really make much sense to me. However, this is a big consolidation area that is sweet, right? You have this whole area. This has been, many months. And if it can break above here, then this definitely has room to run. Certainly. So, Apple, what an amazing stock. Which is kind of like, duh. It's obvious, but jeez. All right. Let's see. We went over United Health being the largest position in Dow. This looks so good and strong. Financials look so good and strong. Is this really the pullback? Maybe, maybe not. Regardless, these could continue to pull back, but the strength is still shocking in financials, right? Everything else has given back gains. Everything except for financial services, and by a long shot. This was a 14% day or something. This was 14%. Same with JP Morgan. And it hasn't even given any of it back, maybe a couple percentage points? Come on, that's insane. So the demand is strong for financial services. Let's see. Wells Fargo. Yeah, even Wells Fargo. Bank of America. The amount of fines these banks pay, and it's something that's not even talked about or discussed, is just so comical. Such irony, right? These guys pay billions of dollars in fines. like a dozen, a year or some ridiculous number. I think Bank of America, I forget the number. It's insane, right? The numbers are insane. Man. Alrighty. So let's talk about some things that happened today apart from NVIDIA earnings. Again, I wish I had more of an opinion on NVIDIA's earnings. I was listening, I was in the gym, I'm listening to the earnings call, and I thought, wow, this is fantastic. These numbers are insane. Demand for their products is still, they can't even make enough. And I thought for sure that stock was going to be up. And I hadn't looked at the stock price or nothing. But when I was finishing up at the gym, I did look, and it was down, 1 or 2%. I forgot what it was, but I was like, wow, that's crazy. The outlook clearly wasn't what people were looking for, So let's look at some other news here. So Target, down 21.5%. Huge gap to fill all the way down here, 114. Gaps always get filled in markets. That's a huge gap. Yeah, Target's been getting slammed. My goodness, this does not bode well if you are taking this as a signal for the consumer or for the economy, especially heading into holiday season. You would have thought they would have been like, oh yeah, this is going to be fantastic. We got Christmas coming up. People are buying all sorts of stuff, but nope. Horrible reaction. Wow. Okay. So that is bad. That is a capitulation. Wow. And see, there was nothing wrong with this chart, how it looked. The last two earnings, this gapped down on earnings. I went over this, but gap up, gap down, gap up. Ooh, man, thing's a gapper on earnings. That would have made me a little uneasy. But man, oof, ugh. Target, okay. So that's capitulation. Let's go over elation. MicroStrategy. Stock continues to act great. Now, I see all sorts of write-ups over all this crap on NVIDIA justifying the price movement and why it could be more and how important MicroStrategy is, blah, blah, blah. People like to try and get all smart and try and do some over-analysis to make themselves look smart. It's all bogus and means absolutely nothing because people are what drive prices, not your little model. So let's keep it simple. Why has this gone up? Why? Well, Bitcoin, that's why. They adopted a Bitcoin strategy and they are heavy and aggressive and take on debt to buy Bitcoin. So it is essentially a leveraged Bitcoin position. So that's why it's ripping. That's it. That's all there is to know. Whatever. So this still looks great. If you ask me to start a position here, no. Even though I'm bullish on Bitcoin, and I'm holding my Bitcoin position, why would I not start a position in MicroStrategy here? Why? Because the risk to reward doesn't make sense for my style to start a position. So from 500 to 450, right? That's like a blink of an eye. It's 10% here. and it would barely even register on this chart. But 10%, losing that sucks, right? But it would still be totally fine. 450. Then you take it all the way down to 400. It's still totally fine. I mean, look at this. This is the 9-day moving average. Like, this thing could go all the way down to 300 and be completely fine. I'm not willing to take it down that far. There's just no way. So that's why. If the risk to reward was better, then heck yeah, I would be taking it. But, yeah, see? And then gets over 500 on huge volume and just gets completely booted. So that's that. Man, tomorrow. What's even going on tomorrow? Oh man, price action today was funky. Oh shoot, we gotta go over futures. My goodness. All right, let's go over micros. Good day trading futures. Good day. I didn't write them all down like I did yesterday, but we'll go over it. Micros. Everything started selling off around this area, if you remember, 635. Oh no, so 640. Right in here is when I got into the Dow debit spreads. Went long Dow right around this area. This looked like good supporting action to me. So I went long here and got stopped out down here. So again, supporting action right here. When the support level was no longer supported, I sold. So I set my stop loss down here. Sometimes, now depending on the time of day, I might not have even had a stop loss there. Give us some wiggle room, but in the morning things can move quickly and furiously. So morning, I pretty much always have a stop loss. Or if I'm going to be away from the computer and like making lunch or doing some crap, I'll have a stop loss. So got stopped out here for a loss. 55 to like 30, so 25 point move. Then again, right here, this is clearly what I look for a reversal, an intraday reversal, I should say. This was down here at a previous level that was kind of supported, acted as resistance, and bounced above it from yesterday. So I figured if it would hold this area, we would go higher. Also, you love to see a dip below 500. Again, this is the same principle as yesterday. If you guys watched my video yesterday, this is the same exact thing that I traded yesterday, the same setup. Everybody has a stop loss below this 400 level. The stop losses get taken out and we rocket higher. Same exact thing here. Everyone's got their stop losses below 500. Everybody's looking at the 500 level. Below 500, I'm going to short it. If you're long, you put your stop losses below 500, right? And it all gets soaked up. This is psychology, human psychology. This is what I'm talking about, where people move markets. Or algorithms, whatever. It's programmed by humans. Not if they use NVDA's chips. All right. So, yeah. So caught this move. This was beautiful. Took it up to here. So that was a solid gain of like 40 points. That was fantastic. No, I didn't make this whole move. I didn't make that whole move. Got back in here. The same supporting action. Now I didn't go long here, although this candlestick does look the same. How could you tell a difference? Just these were still rolling over more. The moving averages were rolling over more. It wasn't as convincing. It wasn't a convincing low volume. Just this was a heavy volume break. Heavy volume break. You can see here, heavy volume break. Low volume for the supporting action. So I did not go long here, although if you were just looking at price action, I could see how you would, but I chose not to. And instead, I chose to go long here. Caught this up to here. That was fantastic. Then I noticed, all right, we've got a trend line forming. So went long over here again. Same thing. Caught this move. Got out. Beautiful. Try it again here. Even though this candle was pretty violent and out of the ordinary, I still tried, and the risk to reward was pretty, good. I did not have a stop loss on this one, so normally I would have kind of set it down below here, but things were super light volume. Nothing was really going on at this time, so got out. Then that was it. Oh, and then I tried again here. This is another perfect setup right here. Supporting action right where you think there should be. The candle wicks supporting, so didn't catch this whole move, that's for sure. This was kind of unexpected, and if it wasn't for this move, I probably would have got out of some of my NASDAQ positions. But again, a nice trade, like up to here or something. I missed most of it, but we're talking, so 06s to like probably here, 14 points something. So cool. That's sweet. I'm happy with that. Again, I'm still honing my craft with futures. So I'm very happy with how I traded these today. It was great, very good and profitable day. So yeah, we'll see what tomorrow holds. I think I played some trades in Dow too, but I didn't write it down. I can't quite remember. Must not have been that good. So anyways, that's it. We'll see what tomorrow holds. I really have no clue, no expectation. All I expect is that something will happen. The price is going to either go up or down tomorrow. That is what I expect to happen. You'll have some price movement up, and you'll have some down, and you'll have some up and some down. That's what will happen tomorrow. Yeah, see, supporting action here at the moving averages, breakout, pullback. It's kind of creeping back up. It's kind of trying, It's a perfect place to go after it. RSI is at 50 here. Stochastics down there in the 20s. Dow Jones, right? Same sort of looking thing. Moving averages coming up, breakout, pullback. Hello, this is what I do. This is my style. So I go after it. NASDAQ is still looking weak. It's kind of rolling over. Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. It's a little bit funky. The price action last couple of days has been very funky. It's like been bought and sold, and it's just no momentum can be established. Yeah, just a bunch of traps, but if this rolls over and can't hold this whole area, I'm gonna have to get out. It will have to get out. So yeah, that's it. Tomorrow I don't think there's anything going on. Tuesday, what is today? Wednesday. Tomorrow would be Thursday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Oh, holy moly. There is stuff going on. Jobless claims. Again, I expect these to be going up. Manufacturing, I expect to be going down. So, existing home sales. Existing home sales. I don't know. I don't have an opinion for tomorrow. All right, well, that's it. Catch you all guys tomorrow.